Hey, today I have two list reviews for you. This first one is from Kory. He sent me a list, and do I remember correctly that it was just a sec? Um, what was it for? Yeah, it's an event that's called it's a study life, I guess. I haven't heard of this event, but anyways, um, so let's go and see what Kory is bringing for this. It's a 1200 points event, which is a little unusual. Right. 14 order dice, 1200 points. I think, Kory, the first thing I notice here is that you're bringing Americans and you have 14 order dice. That is a little low. So unless that there's a dice cap on the event, I think that you should maybe have gone higher. Especially skirmish armies needs to have more units than their opponents, basically, because you're living on the ability to deliver more pins than the opponent can give you back. So for me, I would have liked to have seen one, maybe two more order dice in this. But as is, inexperienced lieutenant with an extra man. Okay. Paratrooper rifleman. Um, these have two submachine guns, which I think are maybe not massively useful for you. I think rifles is the way to go for Americans most of the time. Yes, I know this one is going to be a push unit. It's going to push up. But since you only have two submachine guns, you're not actually that threatening close up. Um, but it is a very large unit, so and it's also very expensive. This is one of the places where Kory spends his points, right? 154 points. I think I would cut back on this unit. It's just very, very large. It's an 11-man unit. Very large. Um, regular infantry. This is again a large unit, 9 men, 2 BARs. I think you could go lower than this. I think you could go down to 7 men and keep the BARs and still have quite a lot of skirmish out of this unit. Veteran engineers, lovely little unit. Love these guys. 6-man unit, perfect. Regular infantry, again, large unit. Again, we have a 10-man unit here. You can go much lower with skirmishes. So unless that there's a dice cap, I think you should cut back on these men and then have extra dudes, basically. Inexperienced machine guns, 3 of those. That is not massively helpful, although they are very cheap. But if you guys are playing with elements of the Jugger pack where you machine guns on infantry get an extra bonus, extra pins, then they are really top of the line competitive. Sniper team, regular, lovely. Bazooka team, regular, lovely. Medium howitzer with spotter, nice. This is a lot of extra support for your army, love it. Um, there is something to be said for actually not having them submachine guns, and that is you're bringing skirmishes. You want to push up into the center of the board where you want to sort of move back and forth, flow a little bit as you're shooting the enemy. The submachine guns are going to sit in your back line and be on ambush most of this. Not the submachine guns, the machine guns, the medium machine guns are going to sit in your back line, be on ambush, and you're going to move in front of them. At some point, that is just going to happen. So the indirect fire, yes, absolutely good support for skirmish armies. The direct fire, not so much. A Greyhound, again, nice armored car. I just wish that it wasn't open topped. That that really sucks because being open topped means that you're very vulnerable to assaults and you're very vulnerable to just pins from small arms fire. Um, it does have a light AT gun, which is nice, and machine guns as well. and a Chaffee light tank. This is a good anti-tank. It's a tank hunter basically. It's got recce, it's got a medium anti-tank gun, it has machine guns. Very, very nice. I don't think you need to buy it veteran. This is again one of the points where you're spending too many points, but it does mean that you get to use the gyro stabilizer, which is kind of nice as well. So if you have the points, yeah, you could go this route. All in all, I think you could cut down, and you should cut down, and then get yourself extra skirmish infantry units, maneuverable, not more machine guns. That is the only thing I would change. Otherwise, it is a really valid an American list here, skirmish heavy, what we like to see. So that was Kory. The second one is from Mike, and that is a French reinforced platoon. This is also for an event that Mike is going to that takes place here in September, and it's a 1250 event. You have 5 points left over, Mike. I think you should use them on submachine guns somewhere, maybe. 16 order dice is really good for 1250, Goldilocks zone and all that. So that's nice to see. You have a second lieutenant with an extra man. That's really the way to run him, right? French engineers with flamethrower, regular, lovely little unit. They need something to transport them, but a lovely little unit. Moroccans, 10 men, tough fighter, large unit, very, very dangerous, nice, and they're veterans, so this is an assault unit. They're not the best assaulters. Go watch my video on top 10 assaulters. They're not the best assaulters, but they're not bad either. Being veteran also means that they're very, very survivable. Then we have regular infantry. This is a skirmish unit. As such, they don't really need the submachine gun. Rifles would be just as good. Senegalese, they are also a tough fighter unit. Regulars, I think the Senegalese here could be larger in size. Right now they're an 8-man squad. Being regular, I would ideally switch around the Moroccans and the Senegalese, so the Moroccans are an 8-man squad and the Senegalese are a 10-man squad, because regulars need a little bit more bodies in order to be effective as close combat fighters here. The cadet machine gun team is not massively helpful. Relic of the Great War, that means something I can't remember. It's an old machine gun, something like that. Yeah, is reduced and it fires 1 less shot. So it's a 4 shot, so it's an LMG. It's not fixed though, which is kind of nice actually. And it is stubborn. Inexperienced. The inexperienced sucks, doesn't it? No, it's actually 3 shots. 3 shots inexperienced for 28 points. I'm not sure I would take that. Medium mortar inexperienced, that is nice though. And then all the artillery, because as French you can take all the artillery, right? 2 medium howitzers with spotters. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is a lot of HE coming out of this list, and with the infantry you don't want to get too close either. So it's a really tough proposition to fight this. Mule teams, regulars, don't need to be regular. You can just as easily run them inexperienced to save the point. Char-Biz with the light howitzer, again maxing out on the ability to throw out HE. The Char-Biz is too expensive, but running French tanks, you're going to go into that territory most of the time, especially if you want the howitzer. So, and as such, yeah, and it can split fire every which way, which is really, really nice. We have a light AT gun, coaxial MG, the light hull-mounted howitzer, and the forward-facing MMG. So lots of split firing. That's good. Truck, for something, I don't think you need this many trucks, especially not veterans. 12-man capacity is not needed to transport the engineers, which is what really needs something to transport it. The Lafferty 6-wheeled has 2 pintle-mounted MMGs, which is very, very good. This is a backline holder. This is what MMG pillboxes should be. And for 65 points, yes, take Laffy's completely. Take those. But I'm not sure about the general truck. I think I would rather get myself a car, a small car or something. And another Sharp B. I don't know why. Maybe there's some special rules saying you can take. Oh, was this the tournament where you could take an extra tank, an extra heavy tank? As such, I think this is the right choice because for 245 points, you're gaining 2 Sharp B1s, which is really good. I think this is for that event where you get an extra tank if you're buying a heavy tank. Right. I just this. I think this needs to be cut down. I know it's an outflanker for the engineers, but it's just not massively helpful, is it? 12-man capacity. What would you put in with the engineers? We have 1, 2, 3, 5 engineers. You could put the regular infantry there. There's 7. That would fit. But wouldn't you rather throw in the lieutenant? I want a smaller truck. And then throw the lieutenant in to boost the morale, and then have it in outflank. Yeah, I think it's too many points to throw at that outflank. 47 points for a veteran truck that has nothing, and its capacity is too big. So that's my one caveat with this list. I really like the amount of HE though, with 2 Char B1s. Right. Lovely lists. Thank you so much, Kory, and thank you so much, Mike. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Cheers.